So this is a continuation of your foundation. So basically, part two. And with that out of the way, the first question is sex before marriage bad? Short answer, yes. Long answer, yes. Even longer answer, it's situational. Hear me out. So First Corinthians 7 says, "It is well for a man not to touch a woman, and but because of temptation to immorality, each man should have his own wife, and each woman his own husband." Galatians 5, verse 19. "Now the works of the flesh are plain: fornication, sex between people, or marriage, or people not married to each other, impurity, licentiousness," the list goes on. From these verses, and the more we can see why sex is marriage in before is sin. Sin in God's eyes is don't do this, don't do that. This is because I said so. It's not. It's don't do this because it hurts you. And I have better in store. God created sex. It's not something Adam and Eve did as an experiment. In Genesis, he tells them to go out, be fruitful, and multiply. But God puts bounds around sex for our own good, for it to be between one man and one woman in marriage. Genesis 2, verses 24, "Therefore a man leaves his father and mother and cleaves to his wife, and they become one flesh." First Corinthians 6, verses 16, "But don't you know he who joins himself with a prostitute becomes one body with her? For it is written, the two shall become one flesh." Sex, believe it or not, brings two whole individuals and forms into one before God, not separate halves. But that's a topic for another day. That's why in Matthew, Jesus says, in talking about divorce, that what God has brought together, let no man put apart. So having sex with multiple is joining yourself, your emotions, your whole being with others. That's why it's discouraged, because you only find satisfaction with one person, like how God prepared it for you. Because after one, it will never be enough. Why do you think people like Solomon, Abraham didn't stop at one wife? And why couples that didn't have sex before marriage are likely to stay together? There's more to it than just sex, but it's a contributing factor. Sex was designed so that two people, a man and a woman, can come together and be able to share an emotional, passionate, and vulnerable aspect of themselves. Sex is good, but it needs perimeters, otherwise, that's how STIs, prostitution, adultery, and even rape can happen. You wanted children? Unwanted children, but I could go on, but I'll stop there for today. I hope you understand, and never forget that Jesus loves you.